Hello everyone, welcome back to Your Thoughts Are Valid, and I hope you all are doing great. So in today's video, we are going to learn about social facilitation and social loafing. So this is like like important topic from social psychology, and many questions are asked in many competitive exams from this topic. I mean, there have been many previous year questions from just these two topics. So let's try to understand these two, and my mode of teaching would be both in Hindi and English. So let's start with the video. So first we will learn about social facilitation. So basically it is a social phenomena in which, our performance improves in presence of others. Like an individual's performance improves in presence of others. Basically जैसे जब हमें पता होता है कि दूसरे लोग हमें देख रहे हैं, तो we try to give our best. So basically जब दूसरों की प्रेजेंस से हमारा परफॉर्मेंस इंक्रीज होता है या इम्प्रूव होता है, दैट थिंग इज कॉल्ड एज फैसिलिटेशन, सोशल फैसिलिटेशन. लाइक फैसिलिटेट, रिमेंबर इट विद फैसिलिटेट. फैसिलिटेट मीन्स किसी चीज को फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करना. सो लाइक दैट ओनली कि अच्छा ही हो रहा है, तो बिकॉज इट इज इम्प्रूविंग. सो सोशल फैसिलिटेशन. So this idea was given by Norman Triplett. This you have to remember कि ये नॉर्मन ट्रिपलेट ने दिया था. So what he did was that he studied a bicycle racing by looking at the records from cycling association, and he noticed that when the cyclists who were racing against each other performed better than those who were trying to beat their own time. ओके. सो लाइक जब उन्होंने वो स्टडी करी साइकिलिंग एसोसिएशन से बाइकलिंग बाईसाइकिल रेसिंग को ऑब्जर्व करके, उन्होंने नोटिस किया कि वो साइकिलिस्ट जो कि दूसरे साइकिलिस्ट से compete कर रहे थे, दे वर एबल टू परफॉर्म बेटर देन दोज जो कि अपना ही टाइम बीट करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. इसलिए जो सोशल फैसिलिटेशन होता है वो बेसिकली दैट इज, यू कैन रेफर टू इट एज इम्प्रूवमेंट इन परफॉर्मेंस. ओके. Moving on, what are the types of social facilitation? First is co-action. So basically, co-action refers to your performance being better on a task merely because there are other people doing the same task as you. For example, working at an office with co-workers instead alone. Okay, so like co-action is basically when you are like suppose class test है, तो you see कि बाकी जो classmates हैं, they are doing their best, they are writing a lot, so that in that way it is increasing your motivation also ki ha, even I need to write more to score more because others are doing the same. Then second one is audience effect. It is basically like your performance being better because you are doing something in front of an audience. Like when you perform alone, usually you don't care that like others are around, so you do it in a very free, with free mindset, and sometimes you just don't care, you are okay with making mistakes. But when you are playing or doing something in front of others, you are always in your head, you are always very cautious that I'm going to perform. So that social anxiety is usually there. So a little bit, not like extreme. I'm not saying that you have social anxiety, that I'm not saying that like वो जो DSM वाला social anxiety है, just normal जो थोड़ी बहुत सबको होती है anxiety, basically stage fright, तो वो हो जाता है. So that is good sometimes because you are able to give your best, you don't want to make mistakes in front of others. So that is audience effect. For example, pianist playing at home versus playing in front of a crowd. Moving on, there are few theories regarding social facilitation. पहली एक्टिवेशन थ्योरी है जो कि जैगनॉफ ने दी थी. सो ये जो नाम है ये इम्पॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज इन्होंने काफी सारी रिसर्च की है सोशल साइकोलॉजी में. एंड इफ यू आर लाइक डूइंग योर मास्टर्स और बैचलर्स एंड यू हैव सोशल साइकोलॉजी एज योर सब्जेक्ट, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि यू राइट नेम ऑफ द रिसर्चर्स and their researches in your answers, SEMEN exams. Basically, I'm talking about. So, yeah, the first one is activation theory, which basically says that social facilitation is the result of arousal that is triggered by the presence of others. So, basically, ये बस कह रहे हैं कि दूसरों के होने से we get aroused, and with that leads to social facilitation. Alertness hypothesis says that you become more alert when you have observers and therefore you perform better. So here it is more about being active, being alert. Then third one is evaluation apprehension hypothesis or evaluation approach. So it is, like what about others makes us things do better, that they will judge us, that they will evaluate us. So that is, I mean, this is just about that only. Self presentation is basically people are motivated to make good impressions with others and maintain a positive self image, because like usually we say ki first impression is the last impression, and anyways we want to present our best selves in front of others. Then last one is feedback loop model. So it proposes that when being observed by others, you become more aware of yourself, and that this state makes you more aware of differences between how you want to behave and how you actually behave. For example, working more diligent on tasks when others are watching, because you become more sensitive to mistakes you would normally make. So it is basically, like दूसरे जब हमें पता होता है कि दूसरे हमें ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, तो हम और अवेयर हो जाते हैं कि हम कर क्या रहे हैं, अबाउट द वे वी आर सिटिंग और वट एवर वी आर डूइंग, एंड दिस ये जो स्टेट होता है ज्यादा अलर्टनेस का, इट मेक्स अस मोर अवेयर ऑफ द डिफरेंसेस कि हम बिहेव कैसे कर रहे हैं और हमें करना कैसे चाहिए। जैसे कि हम ज्यादा काम करते हैं, व्हेन टीचर इज वाचिंग अस, हम दिखाते हैं कि वी आर राइटिंग, वी आर डिलीजेंटली डूइंग आवर वर्क, बट जब टीचर नहीं देख रहा होता तो वी indulge in talks and normally do our work. So that is feedback loop model. Moving on to Yerkes Dodson law. So, what is this? It is a model which defines the relationship between stress and performance. So, what does it say? That you reach your peak level of performance with intermediate level of stress or arousal. Too little or too much arousal results in poorer performance. This is also known as inverted U model of arousal. So, basically, it's like you must have heard about good stress and bad stress. So, good stress basically motivates you to do the thing and not procrastinate, while bad stress leads to anxiety and makes you dysfunctional basically. So ये बोल रहे हैं कि थोड़ा स्ट्रेस जरूरी होता है, थोड़ा अराउजल जरूरी होता है टू टू बेसिकली गिव आवर बेस्ट। थोड़ा सा जरूरी होता है, और बहुत ज्यादा या फिर बहुत कम अ, हमें डिसफंक्शनल बना देता है। बहुत कम है तो हम प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट करते रहेंगे, करेंगे ही नहीं, और बहुत ज़्यादा है तो वी विल गेट वे टू एंग्शियस। सो उससे हम डिसफंक्शनल हो जाएंगे, हमें एंग्जाइटी होती रहेगी, वी विल जस्ट कीप थिंकिंग, और लाइक आवर बॉडी विल रिएक्ट इन अ वे कि हम ढंग से नहीं याद कर पाएंगे चीज़ों को, या जो भी चीज़ हम कर रहे हैं वो नहीं कर पाएंगे। सो दैट इज Yerkes Dodson law. Here you can see this graph. That is why it is known as inverted U model of arousal. So on x-axis you can see there is arousal, and on y-axis there is, just a minute. Yeah, so on x-axis you can see there is arousal, and on y-axis you can see there is performance. So when arousal is low, you can see that there is not much improvement in performance, but as the arousal is increasing, performance is also increasing up to a level. Okay, and then there is one peak point where arousal gets to the peak, and your performance is also at peak. Okay, but after this, because arousal is getting too much, now it won't go linear. Instead it will go down because the anxiety is too much, so impaired performance because of strong anxiety. So this is Yerkes Dodson law. Okay, so yeah, this is basically the Yerkes Dodson law. Just a minute. Let me remove this. Yeah. So so this is depicted by an upside down U-shaped curve. Left side of the curve represents low arousal or stress. Right side represents high arousal. Center is a medium level of stress. Poor performance at the bottom and at the top. Optimal performance in the middle of the curve. Performance is maximized at the optimal level of arousal, and it tapers off during under or over arousal. So I hope this is clear. Moving on. this is Yerkes Dodson law in with regards to motivation. Okay, so when stress gets too high, performance decreases. Okay, task performance is best when arousal levels are in the middle range, with difficult task best performed under lower level of arousal, and simple task best performed under high level of stress. Okay, so simple tasks are best performed under high level of stress, while with difficult tasks we need to be more calm, more composed. So at that time, we need low level of arousal. So what happens in arousal theory is that people are said to have an optimal, best or ideal level of tension. Task performances, for example, may suffer if the level of arousal is too high, such as severe test anxiety, or even if the arousal is too low, such as boredom. For many kind of task, a moderate level of arousal seems to be best, and this relationship between task performance and arousal is called as Yerkes-Dodson law. The person who needs more arousal is called a sensation seeker. So sensation seekers seem to need more complex and varied sensory experiences than do other people. The need does not always have to involve danger. For example, students who travel to other countries to study tend to score higher on scales of sensation seeking than do students who stay at home. So this is not going to be asked, about sensation seeker, but Yerkes-Dodson law, you can get questions from there. Moving on to social loafing. So what happens in social loafing is, it is a phenomena where people tend to exert less effort to achieve a goal when they work in a group than when working alone. This is mostly applicable when individual contributions are not obvious. So social loafing is basically, when you are working in a group, तो एक वो हो जाता है कि बाकी लोग हैं तो वो कर लेंगे कंप्लीट, लाइक जैसे स्कूल में ग्रुप प्रोजेक्ट मिला या कॉलेज में ग्रुप प्रोजेक्ट मिला, सो यू आर मोर लाइक कि हाँ बाकी टीममेट्स कर लेंगे, सो उतना स्ट्रेस नहीं है तो अपना बेस्ट नहीं देते, लेस एफर्ट डालते हैं हम उन केसेस में। और ये यूजुअली तब होता है जब कोई इंडिविजुअल कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं होना होता, लाइक इंडिविजुअली लोगों को स्कोर्स नहीं मिलने होते या उनकी परफॉर्मेंस इवैल्यूएट नहीं होनी होती। इन दोज केसेस सोशल लोफिंग इज मोर कॉमन। ओके, सो व्हेन यू आर अलोन यू गिव योर 100%। अगर दो लोग हैं तो अगेन एफर्ट डिवाइड हो गया, तो नाउ इट्स लाइक दोनों अपना 93 दे रहे हैं, और जितने ज्यादा लोग होते हैं उतनी ज्यादा लाइक लोग कम एफर्ट डालने लगते हैं इंडिविजुअली। मूविंग ऑन, social loafing is the perceived psychological phenomena that team members do less in a group setting. People are prone to exert less effort when working collectively as part of a group compared to performing a task alone. This is also called as Ringelmann effect, and it occurs in groups of people that limits the amount of effort that each group member exerts, that is reducing individual productivity. And this was identified by Max Ringelmann. That is why it is called as Ringelmann effect. For example, tug of war. And it can also be explained by bystander effect. So I think you all must remember bystander effect, where कोई social setting में अगर किसी को चोट लगी है या फिर किसी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, सो एवरीवन अराउंड देम, जो भी लोग नोटिस कर रहे हैं उस विक्टिम को, दे विल फील लाइक कि कोई तो आके हेल्प कर देगा, एंड देन नो वन गोज एक्चुअली टू हेल्प आउट बिकॉज एवरीवन कीप्स थिंकिंग कि कोई तो आके हेल्प कर देगा। सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द, दिस ऑल्सो शोज सोशल लोफिंग। एंड दूसरा एग्जाम्पल हो गया टग ऑफ वॉर। बेसिकली लाइक टग ऑफ वॉर में ये होता है कि बाकी सारे लोग ये सोचने लगते हैं कि वो ज़्यादा फ़ोर्स डालेगा, मुझे उतना डालने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। सो दैट इज़ दीज़ आर द एग्ज़ाम्पल्स ऑफ सोशल लोफिंग। सो रोप पुलिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट था क्या? ये सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट एक्सपेरिमेंट था, जिसको हम रिंगलमैन इफ़ेक्ट भी बोलते हैं। तो इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में रिंगलमैन ने इंस्ट्रक्ट किया मेल पार्टिसिपेंट्स को, जिनका बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर बिल्ट इन बॉडी सिमिलर था, और उनको इंडिविजुअली इंस्ट्रक्ट किया, और उसके बाद ग्रुप में इंस्ट्रक्ट किया 7 और 14 के, टू पुल अ रोप फॉर 5 सेकेंड। ये जो एक्सपेरिमेंट था ये हर ग्रुपिंग के लिए रिपीट किया गया, और जो भी रिजल्ट था उसको रिकॉर्ड किया गया। कैसे जो भी प्रेशर एक्सर्ट किया हर इंसान ने उसको रिकॉर्ड किया गया। तो रिंगलमैन ने क्या फाउंड किया कि जो हर हर एक पार्टिसिपेंट ने सेम अमाउंट ऑफ प्रेशर एक्सर्ट नहीं किया रोप पुल करने में, मतलब कि कुछ लोग जो थे वो दूसरों पे रिलाइड थे कि वो उनके बदले में फोर्स लगा देंगे। और फर्दर एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के बाद रिंगलमैन ने थ्योराइज किया कि जो मेन जिन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया था were not at motivated to use their full potential because they were in a group। और ये सबसे अर्ली एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन था in relation to social loafing। Okay, then what is the difference between social facilitation and social loafing? So we know कि social facilitation is like more of a positive phenomena क्योंकि यहाँ पे performance increase होती है, and social loafing is more like negative because individuals exert less effort to achieve a goal. Social facilitation has a positive impact on performance, and social loafing has a negative approach. And social facilitation, a person's familiarity with the particular task directly affects social facilitation. And factors like expectations of co-worker performance, working environment and culture, and meaningfulness of the task affect social loafing. Okay. Then there is one question for you, because now we have discussed about social loafing and social facilitation. Let's do this MCQ. Social loafing would least likely to occur. Option A is in a boys' club trying to raise money by holding a Saturday car wash. B is in a relay race where each team member's performance is timed. C is in a community garden where each family member is expected to contribute whatever free time they have. And D is in a work crew building a new highway. So social loafing is basically क्या होता है जहाँ सबसे ज्यादा ये कब अकर होती है जब इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंस इवैल्यूएट नहीं होनी होती। तो फर्स्ट में क्या है, लीस्ट लाइकली टू अकर बोल रहे हैं। तो पहला क्या है कि बॉयज क्लब में अब यहाँ बॉयज क्लब है तो बहुत सारे लड़के हैं, एंड एवरीवन माइट थिंक कि ज्यादा रेज बाकी लड़के ज्यादा काम करेंगे तो ज्यादा मनी रेज हो जाएगा। सो यहाँ तो सोशल लोफिंग होगी। दूसरा क्या है, रिले रेस वेयर ईच टीम मेंबर परफॉर्मेंस इज टाइम। तो यहाँ पे हर एक टीम मेंबर की परफॉर्मेंस टाइम होगी, तो यहाँ पे सोशल लोफिंग होना कम, प्रोबेबिलिटी कम है सोशल लोफिंग होने की। फिर सी क्या है, कम्युनिटी गार्डन जहाँ पे हर फैमिली मेंबर इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू कंट्रीब्यूट वट एवर फ्री टाइम दे हैव। तो अगेन हर फैमिली मेंबर ये सोचेगा कि दूसरा वाला फैमिली मेंबर ज्यादा दे देगा, तो यहाँ पे भी सोशल लोफिंग होगी। और डी है इन अ वर्क क्रू बिल्डिंग अ न्यू हाईवे। सो लाइक क्रू है पूरी, तो फिर दे कैन ऑल्सो डिपेंड ऑन ईच अदर की लाइक वो ज्यादा काम कर सकते हैं। तो इसका आंसर होगा बी। ओके, इसका आंसर क्या है, बी, बिकॉज each team member's performance is going to be timed. Okay, so that would be the answer. I hope this is clear. So yes, that is it. I hope you are clear with the topics, social loafing and social facilitation. It is an important topic in social psychology, and I hope it's clear. If there is any doubt, please do ask in the comment section. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.